Based on today's chilling and extremely tragic true story, several movies have been made and produced over the years and made a huge business worldwide.
Hey,
What the hell is that?
what was that? Get out of the water now! Hey! Can you see?
Can't catch me.
Let's dive into today's true story. I'm Zar Sipra and welcome to another episode of the shocking mystery on the mirror. Before I take you back in time to witness this most heartbreaking incident, I would like to make a ground to all of you to understand and realize the intensity of this unfortunate event that occurred back in 2003. It's truly horrifying. Before Adam, on this beautiful planet Earth, indeed God had created life in many kinds of shapes. There were animals, there were reptiles of many kinds, but over the millions of years, many of the species in the reptiles have been faded away. There were and are angels, they are created with light, and jinns, they are created with different kinds of fire. Some of them, they are created with smokeless fire and different colors of fires. And humans, very interestingly, they are created with many kinds of clay collected from different parts of the portions of this planet Earth, mixed with the water, air and fire. And before Adam or before humans, jinns were sent on Earth and asked them to make this planet Earth their home. But as they are created with fire, so most of the jinns, they are extremely aggressive. They started to kill each other. They started to destroy this Earth planet. Then God sent the armies of the angels. These angels came down and killed many jinns. They pushed and forced them to live into the deep forest. Since then, many jinns, most of the jinns, they live in the rainforest, jungles and abandoned places. Eventually, humans, jinns and animals, they were given their own territories to live, to dwell on their fixed appointed terms and time. If we talk about the animal kingdom, our mind goes to Africa, our mind goes to Australia, Amazon rainforest, and these beasts, the deadliest animals, they live in these locations. If you cross these boundaries, either you will be killed or eaten alive, or at least you will have a story to tell to your upcoming generations till the last breath. December 21, 2003, Sunday, 11:45 a.m. Three buddies, Brett Mann, 22 years old, Ashley, 19, and Shaun, 19 years old, they decide to have a fun ride. They live and grew up in Darwin. This is the capital of the Northern Territory in Australia. This is a top end and less populated area due to some reasons. One of the main reasons is this territory is belong to the wild and dangerous animals, which makes this area is less populated. The weather is unpredictable and mostly wild through the year. Three of them decide to have fun ride on their quad bikes or ATVs on the salt flat, which is 50 miles away from their location near the Finniss River. The river water is black. It is that black you can't see anything in the water. The reason is it has a black soil. They took about 40 minutes to reach Tumbling Water Holiday Park, which is made for the families and those they want to experience adventure within the safe ground of the wilderness. This is a last resort, and there is no any civilization further if you go, and mostly people, they do not enter. But these three buddies, they cross that last resort and continue their journey about more 30 minutes alongside the River Finniss. When they reach on the very narrow path, and when they stop their truck and unload their bikes, and then they start to ride them, and there is now open ground of the salt flat. It is the ideal location to have fun on these quad bikes. Now there is a rain which made the whole surface very much muddy. So it is very much muddy. They enjoy it a lot riding these quad bikes or ATVs, sprayed the mud to each other till 4:30 p.m. It is a 4:30 p.m. Now they are hungry, they are tired, they decide to go back home. So they started to load their bikes on the truck until one of them said that, hey, why don't we wash ourselves in the Finniss River? We are close, and it won't take long. It will take just a few minutes, and then we'll be fine, and then we get into the truck and we'll get back home. But you have to remember, they are grown up here in this land, so they know each portion of this territory. So they have been here many times before, so they can sense any dangers. They know how to avoid any harms. So they decided, okay, we should wash very quick and then come back to the truck and then get back home. Now they park their bikes, they load their bikes on the truck, and then start to walk to the Finniss River. They take a shortcut through the trees and they enter. It takes them a few minutes to reach to the River Finniss. Now remember, it was raining a few days ago. Even yesterday was raining. It was a very heavy rain which made the river water level higher than usual. It is that higher that if you step into the water, the next moment you'll feel that the water is over your head and you will struggle to touch your toes to the ground. As I mentioned before, this area is the animal kingdom, and the Black Finniss River has taken thousands of lives over the years. It is filled with the predators and deadliest animals that you can't see in the waters. Among these deadliest animals, there are crocs. They are unpredictable, clever, and deadliest reptiles in the Finniss River. As I was doing the research to complete my story, it is very important to know the characteristics and the nature of these reptiles. One of them is due to their extremely sensitive mechanoreceptors all over their bodies. Anything within 300 meters range, anything is moving, these mechanoreceptors, they can sense the presence of the moving object. So as they are in the water, black water that you can't see anything inside, and anything in the water within the range of 300 meters, if anything is moving, they can sense. They will surprise you with their sudden arrival.
Mechanoreceptors on its jaw, but it also has them throughout almost the entire length of its body. So this animal is a lot more sensitive to those pressure waves. A crocodile can feel you moving from about 300 meters away.
So this is why thousands of lives have been taken by these reptiles over the years.
Look here. Big one in front. It's coming this way. Okay, back, just get the pedal.
Another nature is they can sit under 2 feet of water. They can rest there, keep the target in their range. They can wait with patience for hours, sometimes more than a day. Again, due to the rain, the speed of the water flow is amazingly fast. It has a tons of the pressure, and there are so many trees with the mangroves. Mangroves of the trees are those roots which are exposed. They are inside the water and outside the water, and they are long roots that you can grab them and you can stay there. So they decided to have one hand they can grab these mangroves, and with another hand they can wash themselves. During the cleaning, somehow Brett Mann lost his grip, and the water flow took him pretty far from the mangrove, and he yelled, and 2 of them looked back at him. So immediately they also swam very fast to grab their friend, and eventually they got their friend, and then finally they stopped because the water flow was very fast, and then they were looking for nearest mangrove so they can with a little effort they can go reach to the mangrove, and then they climb up the tree because they were already washed out because of this water flow. So they decided to catch a mangrove nearby. As they were finding, Ashley suddenly screamed, "Croc! Croc!" So everybody was very scared. They started to use their utmost power, energy. So eventually Shaun and Ashley successfully gripped one of the mangroves, and then they climbed up. So Shaun climbed up, and then he raised his hand. Ashley got his arm, and with his help he also climbed up the tree, and then he raised his arm for Brett Mann, but he wasn't there. Both of them, they were very much confused. They asked about Brett to each other, and then they decided to climb up. Now this tree has 2 branches. One is a branch which is close to the water, another branch is higher than the first one branch and higher to the water level. But anyhow, they decided to climb up the higher branch and scan the area if they can see Brett. One of them, he climbed up on the higher branch, and then he started to scan the area, and after some time he looked right down underneath, beneath they were standing. They saw one yellow thing was already coming up on water surface. Finally they realized this is Brett. This is Brett's clothing, but Brett was in the jaw of 13 feet long croc jaw. They were terrified. They were in shock. So in few moments the crocodile just went down slowly in the water. They were that in shock. They couldn't talk to each other for few minutes, and they were keep staring at the spot where they saw Brett in the jaw of this croc. They were like traumatized. And then finally, when they collected themselves, now they were worried what to do. They were not even thinking about what exactly happened, because when they stopped their biking fun, it was already 4:30, and soon the sun is going to set. Once they collected themselves, the first thing they realized, the tree position. The tree was far from the riverbank. They must dive into the river and swim to reach to the riverbank. And the second thing they realized, the tree was pretty short, especially the first branch was pretty much to the water level. Now Ashley is on the first branch and Shaun is on the higher branch, and it is going to rain, and also it's going to get dark. Sun is setting. They started to calculate every possibility, what could happen next. First of all, they are far from the civilization. Their truck is far near the salt flat. Unless their family realize where they are, then they have a chance of rescue. Otherwise, it can take hours, maybe a day, or maybe a 1 month for somebody to come here. Another concern, because it was getting dark, they were getting tired, they were hungry, and then their most concern was number one, rain. If the rain starts, the water level will come up. Number two, if during the night, after they are very tired, if they close their eyes, go to sleep, and if they sleep, lose their balance and fall into the water, the crocodile will get them, eat them alive. As I mentioned, these crocs, they are very much patient when they know, because human being is like a food supply for them. They can wait for hours and sometimes for days to wait for their target. So these were the concerns. And it happened, the sun set already, and it was a thunderclap, start to rain, and the water levels start to rise slowly by slowly. At this point, the one who was standing on the lower branch, he decided to reach to the upper branch. So he raised his hand, he grabbed the upper branch, and he pulled himself. While he was in the middle of the air, middle of two branches, he lost his grip and then he fell into the river. It was still a little bit brightness. So when Shaun, who was on the upper branch, he started to yell, "Croc is coming for you, you need to swim fast." He used every ounce of his energy to swim very fast to reach back to the tree where he was standing before. So finally, he grabbed the mangrove and tried to pull himself. As the croc, he opened his jaw and his leg was almost inside the jaw. He clapped his jaw, and in time, he just got out of his jaw. And he came back to his first branch. And then he grabbed the upper branch. Shaun gave him a hand, and they struggled and used their force together. And then they were on the upper branch, both of them. So that night became a nightmare for them. For the whole night, it was. Now, another problem was there was no any ambience. It was a pitch black, and only they can see anything when there was a lightning, a thunderclap. So when they see, every time beneath them, the croc was sitting there waiting for them. Finally, the darkness turned into bright daylight. Their family members with the park rangers and police, they somehow knew their plan, so they were following them. They saw their truck, and then they came along this path. They were yelling their names. They were calling them, and when they heard their names, they yelled back. So this is how they were found. And then police, they used the helicopter. As in the morning, crocodile was still there beneath the tree waiting for them, and they used the helicopter. They wanted to send the ladder down so they can climb up the ladder, but again they were scared because they have been here on one branch for the whole night. They have lost so much energy. They were also scared if they lose their balance and then fall into the water, the croc will eat them. But somehow the propellers and the blades of the helicopters also scared the croc, and the croc left that place. When they knew the croc is already gone, they used the boat to send the boat there, and they were rescued. They were sent to the nearest hospital. They were fine, but they were traumatized. When they were interviewed in the media, the Shaun blower said, quote, 5 minutes later, the crocodile was back, stalking their tree. He just hung around us all night. Saltwater crocs are the world's largest reptiles. They are aggressive and dangerous. About 100,000 crocs, they live in the tropical northern Australia, and believe they have already killed thousands in the past years. So this was today's story, and if you like these kind of shocking mysteries, horror stories, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, please take care of yourself and your surroundings. I'm your host, Uzay Sipra. Until next time.